In Part 1 and Part 2 we learned about the tribe Canini, true dogs, with two subtribes Canina and Sardocyanina. And now you and I will learn about the tribe Vulpini, true foxes, 15 species, and the genus Eurocyon, gray fox, 2 species. And now let's get started. 23. Bat-eared fox, genus Otocyon, tribe Vulpini. The bat-eared fox is a species of fox found on the African savanna. It is the only extant species of the genus Otocyon and considered a basal canid species. Fossil records indicate this canid first appeared during the Middle Pleistocene. Bat-eared foxes are relatively small canids, ranging in weight from 3 to 5.3 kilograms, 6.6 to 11.7 pounds. Head and body length is 46 to 66 centimeters, 18-26 in, tail length is 23 to 34 centimeters, 9.1 to 13 in, shoulder height is 30 to 40 centimeters, 12-16 in, and the notably large ears are 11 to 13 centimeters, 4.3 to 5.1 in, long. Generally, the pelage is tan-colored, with gray agouti-guard hairs, giving its grizzled appearance, appearing more buff on the sides. The undersides and throat are pale. The limbs are dark, shading to dark brown or black at their extremities. The muzzle, the tip and upper side of the tail and the facial mask are black. The insides of the ears are white. Individuals of the East African subspecies, O.M. virgatus, tend toward a buff pelage with dark brown markings, as opposed to the black of O.M. megalotus. Proportionally large ears of bat-eared foxes, a characteristic shared by many other inhabitants of hot, arid climates, help to distribute heat. They also help in locating prey. Bat-eared foxes are considered the only truly insectivorous canid, with a marked preference for harvester termites, which can constitute 80 to 90% of its diet. When this particular species of termite is not available, their opportunistic diet allows a wide variety of food items to be taken. They can consume other species of termites, other arthropods such as ants, beetles, especially scarab beetles, crickets, grasshoppers, millipedes, moths, scorpions, spiders, and rarely birds, birds' eggs and chicks, small mammals, reptiles, and fungi, berries, seeds, and wild fruit also are consumed. 24. Common raccoon dog, genus Nycteroutes, tribe Vulpini. The common raccoon dog, also called the Chinese or Asian raccoon dog to distinguish it from the Japanese raccoon dog, is a small, heavy-set, fox-like canid native to East Asia. They have long torsos and short legs. Total lengths can range from 45 to 71 centimeters, 18 to 28 in. The tail, at 12 to 18 centimeters, 4.7 to 7.1 in, long, is short, amounting to less than a third of the animal's total length and hangs below the tarsal joints without touching the ground. The ears are short and protrude only slightly from the fur. Weights fluctuate according to season. In March they weighed 3 kilograms, 6.6 pounds, while in August to early September males average 6.5 to 7 kilograms, 14 to 15 pounds, with some individuals attaining a maximal weight of 9 to 10 kilograms, 20 to 22 pounds. The winter fur is long and thick with dense underfur and coarse guard hairs measuring. The winter fur protects common raccoon dogs from low temperatures ranging down to -20 to -25 degrees Celsius, -4 to -13 degrees Fahrenheit. It is of a dirty, earth brown, or brownish-gray color with black guard hairs. The tail is darker than the torso. A dark stripe is present on the back, which broadens on the shoulders, forming a cross shape. The abdomen is yellowish-brown, while the chest is dark brown or blackish. The muzzle is covered in short hair, which increases in length and quantity behind the eyes. The cheeks are coated with long, whiskery hairs. The summer fur is brighter and reddish straw-colored. A rare white color type occurs in China. They can also come in a yellow color. Common raccoon dogs are omnivores that feed on insects, rodents, amphibians, birds, fish, reptiles, mollusks, crabs, sea urchins, human garbage, carrion, and eggs, as well as fruits, nuts, and berries. Common raccoon dogs adapt their diets to the season. In late autumn and winter they feed mostly on rodents, carrion, and feces, while fruit, insects, and amphibians predominate in spring. In summer they eat fewer rodents, and mainly target nesting birds, fruits, grains, and vegetables. 25. Japanese raccoon dog, genus Nyctereutes, tribe Vulpini. The Japanese raccoon dog, also known by its Japanese name tanuki, is a species of canid endemic to Japan. It is one of 2 species in the genus Nyctereutes, alongside the common raccoon dog. They usually live in forests, grasslands, and shrublands. The Japanese raccoon dog is mainly nocturnal, but they are known to be active during daylight. They vocalize by growling or with groans that have pitches resembling those of domesticated cats. Their main foods are insects, rodents, amphibians, birds, fish and reptiles, as well as fruits, nuts and berries. The Japanese raccoon dog is about 49 to 71 centimeters, 19 to 28 in, long, plus a 15 to 23 centimeters, 6 to 9 in, long tail. 26. Arctic fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The Arctic fox, also known as the white fox, polar fox, or snow fox, is a small species of fox native to the Arctic regions of the Northern Hemisphere and common throughout the Arctic tundra biome. It is well adapted to living in cold environments, and is best known for its thick, warm fur that is also used as camouflage. The average head and body length of the male is 55 centimeters, 22 in, while the female average is 52 centimeters, 20 in. In some regions, no difference in size is seen between males and females. The tail is about 30 centimeters, 12 in, long in both sexes. The height at the shoulder is 25 to 30 centimeters, 9.8 to 11.8 in. On average, males weigh 3.5 kilograms, 7.7 pounds, while females average 2.9 kilograms, 6.4 pounds. The Arctic fox preys on many small creatures such as lemmings, voles, ringed seal pups, fish, waterfowl, and seabirds. It also eats carrion, berries, seaweed, and insects and other small invertebrates. Arctic foxes form monogamous pairs during the breeding season, and they stay together to raise their young in complex underground dens. Occasionally, other family members may assist in raising their young. Natural predators of the Arctic fox are golden eagles, Arctic wolves, polar bears, wolverines, red foxes, and grizzly bears. 27. Bengal fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The Bengal fox, Vulpes bengalensis, also known as the Indian fox, is a fox endemic to the Indian subcontinent from the Himalayan foothills and Terai of Nepal through southern India, and from southern and eastern Pakistan to eastern India and southeastern Bangladesh. Vulpes bengalensis is a relatively small fox with an elongated muzzle, long, pointed ears, and a long, bushy tail. The pelage ranges in color from buff to silver-gray with an overall grizzled effect. The dorsal pelage is mostly grayish and paler ventrally. The legs tend to be brownish or rufous, and the underparts light, a pale sand or ginger shade. The Bengal fox is more daintily built than the red fox, and can readily be recognized by its bushy, black-tipped tail, which is around 50 to 60% of the length of the head and body. The muzzle is pointy, and there may be a dark smudged marking along the upper part of muzzle in front of eyes. Extensive variation in coat color exists across populations and seasonally within populations, but generally varies from gray to pale brown. The head and body length is 18 in, 46 centimeters, with a 10 in, 25 centimeters, long tail. Typical weight is 5 to 9 pounds, 2.3 to 4.1 kilograms. Bengal foxes are predominantly crepuscular and nocturnal. While individuals may sometimes become active during cool periods of daytime, they typically spend warmer daylight hours under vegetation or in subterranean dens. They use 3 distinct types of den: basic, compact dens with 2 openings used for short rest periods, complex dens with multiple openings, and dens under rocks or rock crevices. Bengal foxes are omnivorous and opportunistic feeders, feeding primarily on insects, small mammals, reptiles, small birds, and fruits. Their diet consists mainly of orthopterans, termites, ants, beetles, spiders, soft-furred rat, little Indian field mouse, Indian gerbil, Indian myna, gray partridge and ashy-crowned finchlark. Less common prey items include ground lizards, oriental rat snake, Madras hedgehog and Indian hare. They feed on fruits of beer, neem, mango, jambu and banyan. The Bengal fox is also considered to be a predator of eggs and possibly bustard chicks. Scats of young pups indicated that they primarily feed rodents. 28. Blanford's fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. Blanford's fox is a small fox native to the Middle East and Central Asia. Blanford's fox is a small fox with wide ears and a long, bushy tail nearly equal to the length of its body. Its body size often varies geographically. In the Afghan-Iranian region, the collected specimens had head body lengths of 38.5 to 80 centimeters, 15.2 to 31.5 in, and tail lengths of 33 to 41 centimeters, 13 to 16 in, while specimens in Oman had a total length of 73.5 to 76 centimeters, 28.9 to 29.9 in, and a tail length of 35 to 36 centimeters, 14 to 14 in. Weights of those specimens averaged 873 grams, body lengths 42 centimeters, tail 32.5 centimeters. Among all extant canids, only the Fennec fox is smaller than Blanford's. The body is brownish-gray, fading to light yellow on the belly. The winter coat is soft and woolly, with a dense black undercoat and white fur speckles in the dorsal area. Together with a somewhat thicker layer of fat, it serves as thermal insulation in cold and dry winter. The summer coat is less thick, the fur is paler, and the white hair is less noticeable. A characteristic mid-dorsal black band extends caudally from the nape of the spine, becoming a mid-dorsal crest along the length of the tail. The tail is the same color as the body. A black spot is found at the base of the spine. The tip of the tail is normally black, but it is white in some individuals. The dark mid-dorsal line, which is a distinctive characteristic of the Israeli specimens, is less noticeable in Oman specimens, although the black tail markings are similarly developed. Blanford's fox is omnivorous and primarily insectivorous and frugivorous. In Israel, plant food consists mainly of the fruit of two caperbush species, Capparis cartilaginea and Capparis spinosa. They also consume fruits and plant material of date palm, Acridinus baccatatus, Fagonia mollis, and various species of Gramineae. Blanford's foxes in Pakistan are largely frugivorous, feeding on Russian olives, Elaeagnus hortensis, melons, and grapes. Blanford's foxes are almost always solitary foragers, only foraging in pairs on occasion. Unlike other fox species, it seldom caches food. 29. Cape fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The Cape fox, also called the ass, fox or the silver-backed fox, is a small species of fox, native to southern Africa. It is also called a South African version of a Fennec fox due to its similarly big ears. It is the only true fox occurring in sub-Saharan Africa, and it retains primitive characteristics of Vulpes because it diverged early in the evolutionary history of the group. Vulpes chama is a small-built canid, usually measuring 45 to 62 centimeters, 17.5 to 24.5 in, long, not including its tail, which is typically 30 to 40 centimeters, 12 to 15.5 in. It is 30 to 35 centimeters, 12 to 14 in, tall at the shoulder, and usually weighs from 2.5 to 4.5 kilograms, 5.5 to 9.9 pounds. The skull is very similar to that of V. bengalensis, although the cranium of V. chama is slightly wider and the maxillary region is slightly shorter. The ears are relatively large and sharp, the muzzle is small and pointed. Pelage color is silvery gray, tawny at the back of the ears, with white hairs appearing around the side of the pinna in the center. The color of the neck and sides is lighter, and the underparts are pale tawny to pale buff. The head is dull red and the lower jaw is dark brown. There are white marks on the throat. The legs are more tawny than the rest of the body. The tail is dense and bushy, and can be silvery, pale fawn, buff with brown or black tips, or dull yellow. The tail tip is always black, and there's a dark spot over the caudal gland. Pelage is soft and composed of a thick wavy underfur of around 25 mm, 1 in length. Underfur is covered with a dense layer of guard hair less than 40 mm, 1.6 in thickness. Molt occurs in the wet season from October to November. Cape foxes are completely omnivorous and opportunists, feeding mainly on small mammals, such as rodents, and insects, but also commonly eating birds, small reptiles, carrion and fruits. Other food items include gerbils, field mice and other small rodents, hares, birds, bird nestlings and eggs, diverse vegetable material, including wild fruit, berries, seeds, roots, and tubers, lizards, insects, such as white ants, beetles and their larvae, and locusts. They may also consume larger mammals like steenbok and other carnivores such as the yellow mongoose. 30. Corsac fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The Corsac fox, also known simply as a Corsac, is a medium-sized fox found in steppes, semi-deserts and deserts in Central Asia, ranging into Mongolia and northern China. The Corsac fox is a medium-sized fox, with a head and body length of 45 to 65 centimeters, 18 to 26 in, and a tail 19 to 35 centimeters, 7.5 to 13.8 in, long. Adults weigh from 1.6 to 3.2 kilograms, 3.5 to 7.1 pounds. It has gray to yellowish fur over much of the body, with paler underparts and pale markings on the mouth, chin, and throat. During the winter, the coat becomes much thicker and silkier in texture, and is straw gray in color, with a darker line running down the back. As an adaptation to the arid climate in which they live, Corsac foxes can forego food and water for extended periods of time. The Corsac fox is an opportunistic forager and hunter. Its diet varies throughout its range, but consists foremost of small and medium-sized vertebrates, insects and small rodents, such as voles, gerbils, jerboas, hamsters, and ground squirrels. It also feeds opportunistically on larger prey including hares and pikas. It scavenges for carrion and human refuse as well. Although predominantly carnivorous, it occasionally eats fruit and other vegetation, especially during winter when availability of animal prey is low. 31. Fennec fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The fennec fox is a small crepuscular fox native to the deserts of North Africa, ranging from western Sahara and Mauritania to the Sinai Peninsula. The fennec has a lifespan of up to 14 years in captivity and about 10 years in the wild. The fennec fox has sand-colored fur which reflects sunlight during the day and helps keep it warm at night. Its nose is black and its tapering tail has a black tip. Its long ears have longitudinal reddish stripes on the back and are so densely haired inside that the external auditory meatus is not visible. The edges of the ears are whitish, but darker on the back. The ear-to-body ratio is the greatest in the canid family and likely helps in dissipating heat and locating vertebrates. It has dark streaks running from the inner eye to either side of the slender muzzle. Its large eyes are dark. The fennec fox is the smallest canid species. Females range in head-to-body size from 34.5 to 39.5 centimeters, 13.6 to 15.6 in, with a 23 to 25 centimeters, 9.1 to 9.8 in, long tail and 9 to 9.5 centimeters, 3.5 to 3.7 in, long ears, and weigh 1 to 1.9 kilograms, 2.2 to 4.2 pounds. Males are slightly larger, ranging in head-to-body size from 39 to 39.5 centimeters, 15.4 to 15.6 in, with a 23 to 25 centimeters, 9.1 to 9.8 in, long tail and 10 centimeters, 3.9 in, long ears, weighing at least 1.3 kilograms, 2.9 pounds. The fennec fox is omnivorous, feeding on small rodents, lizards, geckos and skinks, small birds and their eggs, insects, fruits, leaves, roots and also some tubers. It relies on the moisture content of prey, but drinks water when available. It hunts alone and digs in the sand for small vertebrates and insects. Some individuals were observed to bury prey for later consumption and searching for food in the vicinity of human settlements. 32. Kit fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The kit fox is a fox species that inhabits arid and semi-arid regions of the southwestern United States and northern and central Mexico. These foxes are the smallest of the 4 species of vulpes occurring in North America and are among the smallest of the vulpines worldwide. It has also been called a North American counterpart of the fennec fox due to its large ears. The kit fox is one of the smallest species of the family Canidae found in North America. It has large ears, between 71 and 95 mm, 2.8 and 3.7 in, that help the fox dissipate heat and give it exceptional hearing, much like those of the Fennec fox. This species exhibits little sexual dimorphism, with the male being slightly larger. The average species weight is between 1.6 and 2.7 kilograms, 3.5 and 6.0 pounds. The body length is 455 to 535 mm, 17.9 to 21.1 in, with a long tail, about 40% of total length, adding another 260 to 323 mm, 10.2 to 12.7 in. The color and texture of the coat vary geographically. In general, the dorsal color is grizzled or yellowish-gray. The grizzled appearance is the result of guard hairs that are typically black-tipped or with two black bands separated by a white band. The guard hairs are less than 50 mm, 2.0 in, long, and particularly prominent in the middle of the back. The soles of the legs are protected by stiff tufts of hair, a trait that improves traction on loose sandy surfaces as well as protection against extreme temperatures. Muzzles and vibrissae are generally black to brown. The tail is bushy and gray, with a black tip, and the caudal gland has a pronounced black spot. Unlike the gray fox, it has no stripe along the length of its tail. Its color ranges from yellow to gray, and the back is usually darker than the majority of its coat. Its belly and inner ears are usually lighter. It has distinct dark patches around the nose. The ears are tan or gray on the back, turning to buff or orange at the base. The shoulders, the lower sides, the flanks, and the strip about 25 mm wide across the chest range in color from buffy to orange. Kit foxes are opportunistic omnivores and scavengers, possibly regulated by prey abundance, but primarily carnivorous. In the Californian deserts, its primary prey is Merriam's kangaroo rat. Other common prey species include lagomorphs, rodents and insects. Kit foxes also consume birds, reptiles, carrion, fish, and rarely, plant material, such as tomatoes, cactus fruits and other fruits. 33. Pale fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The pale fox is a species of fox found in the band of African Sahel from Senegal in the west to Sudan in the east. The pale fox is a small fox, with a long body and relatively short legs and a narrow muzzle. The fur is quite thin, with a pale sandy color that turns white towards the abdomen. The back is often speckled with a blackish or rufous coloration, with a darker mid-dorsal line. The flanks are paler than the dorsal pelage, blending into buffy white underparts, and the legs are rufous. It has a pale face, an elongated muzzle with relatively long whiskers, and a dark ring surrounding the eye. Its sandy-colored fur offers effective camouflage within the desert landscape, blending seamlessly with the dunes and rocky terrain. Its tail is long and bushy, with a reddish-brown color with a prominent black tip and a dark patch above the tail gland. The skull is small with a relatively short maxillary region and small sharp canine teeth. One of the most prominent features of the species, its ears, are large and triangular compared to other foxes, but such a shape is typical of a desert-inhabiting canid. The ears of the pale fox play a crucial role, both in thermoregulation, by releasing heat in their typically warm habitats, and in increasing their hearing acuity to detect prey and predators. Head and body length is 380 to 550 mm, tail length is 230 to 290 mm and weight 2.0–3.6 kg. Pale foxes depend on stealth and agility to catch their prey. Typically, their prey, varied and distinctive, includes birds, reptiles, insects, and small mammals. Their diet can also consist of fruits, seeds, and carrion, which they scavenge within their desert habitat. 34. Rüppell's fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. Rüppell's fox, Vulpes rüppellii, also called Rüppell's sand fox, is a fox species living in desert and semi-desert regions of North Africa, the Middle East, and southwestern Asia. Rüppell's fox is a small fox, measuring 66 to 74 centimeters, 26 to 29 in total length, including a tail measuring 27 to 30 centimeters, 11–12 in, long. There is no pronounced sexual dimorphism, but males appear slightly larger than females. Both sexes are reported to have an average weight of 1.7 kilograms, 3.7 pounds. Their coat is sandy with some brown, ticked with numerous white hairs, and fading from reddish along the middle of the back to pure white on the animal's underparts and on the tip of its tail. The flanks are also paler. The head has a more rusty tone on the muzzle and forehead, with dark brown patches on the sides of the muzzle, stretching up towards the eyes. The chin and the sides of the face are white. The whiskers are long, reaching 7 centimeters, 2.8 in. Its relatively small legs are beige in color, with individual black hairs that turn lighter to white towards the legs. The soles are heavily coated with fur that fully covers the pads, in adaptation to extremes of temperature in the desert, that probably helps to distribute its weight and move easily on sand. The back has a black speckling, resulting in a thick black patch at the base of the tail, which is bushy with a white tip. The fur is very soft and fluffy in two coats, a heavier, denser winter coat and a thinner summer coat. The females have 3 pairs of mammae. Similar to other desert-dwelling foxes, Rüppell's fox has large ears to cool it off. Although adults are too large to confuse with Fennec foxes, which live in the same area, young Rüppell's foxes can be confused with adults of that species. The larger ears, however, make them easy to distinguish from red and pale foxes, which also live in some of the same areas. In addition, the coat of a Rüppell's fox is much paler than that of a red fox, while pale foxes lack the white tips on their tails. Rüppell's foxes are omnivores, with a diet that varies considerably depending on what is locally available. In some regions, they are reported to be mainly insectivorous, especially feeding on beetles and orthopterans, while in others, small mammals, lizards, and birds form a larger part of their diet. Plants eaten include grasses and desert succulents, along with fruits such as dates, and they have also been known to scavenge from human garbage. 35. Red fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The red fox is the largest of the true foxes and one of the most widely distributed members of the order Carnivora, being present across the entire northern hemisphere including most of North America, Europe and Asia, plus parts of North Africa. The red fox has an elongated body and relatively short limbs. The tail, which is longer than half the body length, is fluffy and reaches the ground when in a standing position. Their pupils are oval and vertically oriented. Nictitating membranes are present, but move only when the eyes are closed. The forepaws have 5 digits, while the hind feet have only 4 and lack dew claws. Red foxes are the largest species of the genus Vulpes. However, relative to dimensions, red foxes are much lighter than similarly sized dogs of the genus Canis. They display significant individual, sexual, age and geographical variation in size. On average, adults measure 35 to 50 centimeters, 14-20 in high at the shoulder and 45 to 90 centimeters, 18 to 35 in body length, with tails measuring 30 to 55.5 centimeters, 11.8 to 21.9 in. Weights range from 2.2 to 14 kilograms, 4.9 to 30.9 pounds, with vixens typically weighing 15 to 20% less than males. Red foxes are omnivores with a highly varied diet. Research conducted in the former Soviet Union showed red foxes consuming over 300 animal species and a few dozen species of plants. They primarily feed on small rodents like voles, mice, ground squirrels, hamsters, gerbils, woodchucks, pocket gophers and deer mice. Secondary prey species include birds, leopards, porcupines, raccoons, opossums, reptiles, insects, other invertebrates, flotsam, marine mammals, fish and echinoderms, and carrion. On very rare occasions, foxes may attack young or small ungulates. They typically target mammals up to about 3.5 kilograms, 7.7 pounds, in weight, and they require 500 grams, 18 ounces, of food daily. Red foxes readily eat plant material, and in some areas fruit can amount to 100% of their diet in autumn. Commonly consumed fruits include blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, cherries, persimmons, mulberries, apples, plums, grapes and acorns. Other plant material includes grasses, sedges and tubers. 36. Swift fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The swift fox, Vulpes velox, is a small light orange tan fox around the size of a domestic cat found in the western grasslands of North America, such as Montana, Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, Oklahoma and Texas. It also lives in southern Manitoba, Saskatchewan and Alberta in Canada, where it was previously extirpated. The swift fox has a dark, grayish, tan coloration that extends to a yellowish tan color across its sides and legs. The throat, chest, and belly range from pale yellow to white in color. Its tail is black-tipped, and it has black patches on its muzzle. Its ears are noticeably large. It is about 12 inches, 30 centimeters, in height, and 31 inches, 79 centimeters, long, measuring from the head to the tip of the tail, or about the size of a domestic cat. Its weight ranges from around 5 to 7 pounds. Males and females are similar in appearance, although males are slightly larger. Like most foxes, the swift fox is an omnivore. Rabbits, mice, ground squirrels, birds, insects, other arthropods, lizards, amphibians, fish and eggs are staples. Grasses and fruits round out its diet. However, like any efficient forager, the swift fox takes advantage of seasonal foods. During the summer, adults eat large amounts of insects, including beetles and grasshoppers, and feed their young with larger prey items. Deer and other carrion killed by other animals may also be important food sources. 37. Tibetan fox, genus Vulpes, tribe Vulpini. The Tibetan fox, also known as the Tibetan sand fox, is a species of true fox endemic to the High Tibetan Plateau, Ladakh Plateau, Nepal, China, Sikkim, and Bhutan, up to elevations of about 5,300 meters, 17,400 feet. The Tibetan fox is small and compact, with a soft, dense coat, conspicuously narrow muzzle, and bushy tail. Its muzzle, crown, neck, back and lower legs are tan to rufous-colored, while its cheeks, flanks, upper legs and rumps are gray. Its tail has white tips. The short ears are tan to grayish-tan on the back, while the insides and undersides are white. Adult Tibetan foxes are 60 to 70 centimeters, 24 to 28 in, not including tail, and have tail lengths of 29 to 40 centimeters, 11 to 16 in. Weights of adults are usually 4 to 5.5 kilograms, 8.8 to 12.1 pounds. The Tibetan fox primarily preys on plateau pikas, followed by rodents, marmots, woolly hares, rabbits, small ground birds and lizards. It also scavenges on the carcasses of Tibetan antelopes, musk deer, blue sheep and livestock. Tibetan foxes are mostly solitary, daytime hunters as their main prey. Pikas are diurnal. Tibetan foxes may form commensal relationships with brown bears during hunts for pikas. The bears dig out the pikas, and the foxes grab them when they escape the bears. 38. Gray fox, genus Eurocyon. The gray fox, Eurocyon cinerorganteus, or gray fox, is an omnivorous mammal of the family Canidae, widespread throughout North America and Central America. This species and its only congener, the diminutive island fox of the California Channel Islands, are the only living members of the genus Eurocyon, which is considered to be genetically basal to all other living canids. Its species name cinerorganteus means ashen silver. The gray fox is mainly distinguished from most other canids by its grizzled upper parts, black stripe down its tail and strong neck, ending in a black-tipped tail, while the skull can be easily distinguished from all other North American canids by its widely separated temporal ridges that form a U shape. Like other canids, the fox's ears and muzzle are angular and pointed. Its claws tend to be lengthier and curved. There is little sexual dimorphism, save for the females being slightly smaller than males. The gray fox ranges from 76 to 112.5 centimeters, 29.9 to 44.3 in total length. The tail measures 27.5 to 44.3 centimeters, 10.8 to 17.4 of that length, and its hind feet measure 100 to 150 millimeters, 3.9 to 5.9 in. The gray fox typically weighs 3.6 to 7 kilograms, 7.9 to 15.4 pounds, though exceptionally can weigh as much as 9 kilograms, 20 lb. The gray fox is readily distinguished from the red fox by its obvious lack of the black stockings that stand out on the red fox. The gray fox has a stripe of black hair that runs along the middle of its tail, and individual guard hairs that are banded with white, gray, and black. The gray fox displays white on the ears, throat, chest, belly, and hind legs. Gray foxes also have black around their eyes, on the lips, and on their noses. The gray fox is an omnivorous, solitary hunter. It frequently preys on the eastern cottontail in the eastern U.S., though it will readily catch voles, shrews, and birds. In California, the gray fox primarily eats rodents, such as deer mice, wood rats, and cotton rats, followed by lagomorphs, e.g. jackrabbit, brush rabbit, etc. When available, gray foxes may also feed on carrion. In some parts of the western United States, such as in the Zion National Park in Utah, the gray fox is primarily insectivorous and herbivorous. Fruit is an important component of the diet of the gray fox, and they seek whatever fruits are readily available, generally eating more vegetable matter than does the red fox. Generally, there is an increase in fruits and invertebrates, such as grasshoppers, beetles, butterflies, and moths, within the gray fox's diet in the transition from winter to spring. As nuts, grains, and fruits become more numerous, they are cached by foxes. Typically, they attempt to cover the area with their scent either through their scent glands or urine. This marking serves the dual purpose of allowing them to find the food again later and preventing other animals from taking it. 39. Island fox, genus Eurocyon. The island fox, Eurocyon littoralis, is a small fox species that is endemic to 6 of the 8 Channel Islands of California. There are 6 subspecies, each unique to the island it lives on, reflecting its evolutionary history. They are generally docile, show little fear of humans, and are easily tamed. Island foxes played an important role in the spiritual lives of native Channel Islanders. They have been likely semi-domesticated as pets, used as pelts, or for other functions, like pest control. The island fox is significantly smaller than the related gray fox, and is the smallest fox in North America, averaging slightly smaller than the swift and kit foxes. Typically, the head and body length is 48 to 50 centimeters, 19–19.5 in, shoulder height 12 to 15 centimeters, 4.5 to 6 in, and the tail is 11 to 29 centimeters, 4.5 to 11.5 in, long, which is notably shorter than the 27 to 44 centimeters, 10.5 to 17.5 in, tail of the gray fox. This is due to the fact that the island fox generally has 2 fewer tail vertebrae than the gray fox. The island fox weighs between 1 and 2.8 kilograms, 2.2 and 6.2 pounds. The species exhibits sexual dimorphism. The male is always larger than the female. The largest of the subspecies occurs on Santa Catalina Island and the smallest on Santa Cruz Island. The island fox has gray fur on its head, a ruddy red coloring on its sides, white fur on its belly, throat and the lower half of its face, and a black stripe on the dorsal surface of its tail. In general, the coat is darker and duller hued than that of the gray fox. The island fox molts once a year between August and November. Before the first molt pups are woolly and have a generally darker coat than adult foxes. A brown phase, with the gray and black fur of the body replaced by a sandy brown and a deeper brown, may occur in the San Clemente Island and San Nicolas Island populations. It is unclear if this is a true color phase, a change that occurs with age, or possibly a change that occurs because of interactions with Opuntia cactus spines that become embedded in the pelt. Its preferred habitat is complex layer vegetation with a high density of woody, perennially fruiting shrubs. The fox lives in all of the island biomes including temperate forest, temperate grassland and chaparral, with no island supporting more than 1,000 foxes. The island fox eats fruits, insects, birds, eggs, land snails, crabs, lizards, amphibians, and small mammals, including deer mice, as well as human refuse. In addition, they are known to scavenge for food on beaches along the coastline. The fox tends to move around by itself, rather than in packs. It is generally nocturnal, although with peaks of activity at dawn and dusk. Activity also fluctuates with the season. It is more active during the day in summer than it is in winter. The island fox is not intimidated by humans, although at first it may show aggression. It is quite easy to tame and is generally docile. The island fox communicates using auditory, olfactory and visual signals. A dominant fox uses vocalizations, staring, and ear flattening to cause another fox to submit. Signs of dominance and submission are visual, such as facial expression and body posture. Its main vocalizations are barking and growling. The island fox marks territory with urine and feces.